Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed Black Monday, in which coaches were fired from their coaching positions after lackluster seasons. Jason Garrett, Juan Rivera, Freddie Kitchens, Pat Shurmur were among coaches fired from their coaching duties. This week became a busy week for the franchises who made these changes as coaches were replaced. However, there was one glaring stat that was brought to the surface yesterday, and that is that there are only 4 NFL coaches that are minorities. This shouldn't be surprising because we've seen this movie before. This happens a lot in other major executive positions in the world of sports and entertainment. Having 70% of players currently in the NFL that are minorities to only have 4 minority head coaches is a bad look for the league. I mean, y'all use the term Black Monday, right? To fire coaches. Can you at least hire a few brothers if you're gonna use that term, Black Monday? You can't tell me that black people just don't want to be head coaches. Who denies a promotion at their job? Just like the negative stereotype for white people that white people can't jump, it's the same stereotype that black people aren't smart enough to be in executive positions is malarkey. This is like back in the day when they said black quarterbacks aren't smart enough to play quarterback. As I discussed in one of my latest videos, black quarterbacks on the rise. The Rooney Rule should be known as the Booty Rule because it is full of you-know-what. This rule requires interviews, but not hirings. Yes, for those of y'all naysayers who's like, well, you have to hire the person that's most qualified. Yes, you do. I do believe in hiring the person that is most qualified for the job. But at the same time, in every workforce, there should be an effort to sustain diversity. Don't just call minorities for interviews to put them on to make it look like a Broadway show. Interview them to accurately see if they qualify. Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers, coached the Steelers to an 8-8 record with a 3rd-string quarterback. Not to mention, Tomlin traded away his star, best wide receiver in the league and running back in order to ignore the distractions going on around the team and to keep his team disciplined. Mike Tomlin coached a disciplined Steelers team this year. Head coach Brian Flores has done a great job with the Dolphins, a team that was once looking like they were trying to tank. They ended up with wins over the Eagles, the Colts, and the Patriots, and I would say to you, Brian Flores should be in the top 5 of head coach of the year. Say what you want about Marvin Lewis when he coached the Bengals, but he brought them to relevance, and now they are back to irrelevant. The Giants recently hired Joe Judge, a guy with no coordinating or head coaching experience. This don't surprise me, however, because the Giants opted to go with Daniel Jones over Dwayne Haskins with the number 6 pick because of his ties to the Mannings. And that's basically how these hirings go. It's about who you know. But then again, if you're not making the effort to know somebody, how are you going to hire that person? So I'm calling for people to get to know people, something. All right, because there are a lot of qualified black coaches out there with coaching experience, like Jim Caldwell, who coached the Colts, Marvin Lewis, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2020, and the NFL needs to do better than what it's doing.
Leel, I appreciate you having me on here. Let's run it down now. The bottom line is there's not enough minority representation in the NFL. You think about it like this. This doesn't necessarily start with the NFL, right? Maybe it starts at every level, because you think about minorities in America. If you think about widespread, you don't see minorities making it big in any of these sports leagues. You see what I'm saying? Like, it starts at lower levels. They don't get opportunities at lower levels, even if they're the best option. Because there could be there's a minority coach out there that has the best football mind in the world, would not even get an opportunity to coach like a semi-pro league or like a low-level college team. Might not even get that opportunity and get stuck at like a D3 college coaching football somewhere. So it's not just NFL, it's probably every level. It's not probably, it's every level that this goes down. And it goes past coaching to me. It goes towards how have black players, minority players always been treated. And you think about how people talk about Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Those three quarterbacks are tremendous players. Think about Peyton Manning, those names, they're tremendous. But what you need to understand is that they're always given the benefit of the doubt. They should be. They're extremely talented, but they're always talked about how smart their minds are, how intelligent of players they are. Always how they're talked about. And then you look at the black QBs out there in the league. Just talk about QBs for a second. We talk about just two. We talk about Lamar Jackson. We talk about Cam Newton. Obviously, Russell Wilson is a superstar, and I feel like he gets his respect. But think about Lamar Jackson for a second. He was doubted from the absolute minute he was a draft prospect. You look at everybody talking about him, should have played wide receiver, didn't give him credit for being a quarterback. Lamar Jackson's been nothing short of stupendous this season, and you still see the criticism here and there. But we get back to the coaching for a second. Mike Tomlin coached a terrible Steelers team. Like defensively, pretty solid, good rush defense, and Minkah Fitzpatrick had a great few weeks in there. But overall, that team should be 20th or worse team in the league, and almost got them in the playoffs. So if you slap Pat Shurmur onto any team in the NFL, I guarantee you Pat Shurmur can make a team lose. He's that bad of a coach. He is god awful. But you can put Mike Tomlin on any team in the NFL. You put Mike Tomlin on any team in the NFL, they will continue their success or they will start succeeding. The problem is they don't give guys like him opportunities very often. And he took his opportunity, he ran with it. He's been running with it. You look at the Cowboys, just the last head coach hiring I want to talk about here. You think you get rid of Jason Garrett, who's been mediocre for them. They should be contending for an NFC championship every year with the talent on that roster. Their defense is crazy talented, and their offensive line has been amazing for years now, for a couple, 2, 3, 4 years now. Jason Garrett has failed to bring them to those championship games, to that Super Bowl. And Dak Prescott's a good player. He's a good, almost great quarterback in my eyes. Ezekiel Elliott's a great running back. You got to bring in somebody who's got a dynamic coach. And you bring in Mike McCarthy, who for me is the same. It's more of the same. But the way that franchise is run, that franchise is not going to give a minority coach a chance ever. And that goes for the majority of franchises. It's worked out pretty well for the Steelers. I mean, you've got to think at some point something's got to give. Somebody's got to change something. So that's my 2 cents. Something's got to change in the NFL. Got to give these guys more representation. That's all I got.
Let us remember that Tony Dungy was the first head coach to be black and win a Super Bowl. So they're all black head coaches that are capable of getting the job done. Another thing to remember is, even outside of football, and you look at basketball and the Lakers and Jeannie Buss and all those people over there, some of these hirings are family hirings, right? They do it within family, and a lot of the times it's like that. They don't let nobody in. My thing here is for all the NFL teams and sports, let somebody else in as well. Don't just be amongst yourself. Be diverse and let other people in, because guess what? They may know a little something that you may not know. You know what I'm saying? That is American. That's how America is supposed to be. All right? These teams and organizations have the authority to hire a minority.